Podcast Bites.
Bulletproof Radio, a state of high performance.
You're listening to Bulletproof Radio with Dave Asprey. Today's guest is interesting because he's a doctor who says you don't have to eat your vegetables. I'm talking about a guy named Paul Saladino, a certified functional medicine practitioner in Seattle who focuses on in-depth study of both behavior in humans and diseases. And he's looking, what's the root cause of why we do what we do and what can we do beyond pharmacology? And he's probably best known because he talks about nutritional biochemistry and the carnivore diet. For people who are saying there's animal cruelty involved, they have never seen what happens when you disrupt hundreds of acres, or in this case, hundreds of square miles of prairie, all the just death and destruction of animals for monoculture. And you have tractors going through to make these low density, not very healthy foods that then get tracked around. The death per calorie on a carnivore diet from grass-fed is way, way less than on any vegan diet you can do unless you're growing the vegetables yourself in your garden. And that is, I mean, I do actually have about a half acre of garden behind me where I grow all my own vegetables. And I can tell you not a lot dies in that garden. But most of the time, by the time your food's transported, everybody lost. So I'll get off my rant there.
I agree with you completely. The buy kills with plant agriculture is a big deal. And people, we don't have to go down the environmental thing. We could probably do a whole other podcast on the environmental stuff. I did a podcast on my podcast with Peter Ballerstedt, who is very interested in the environmental stuff. It'll be out in a couple of weeks. Probably by the time this comes out, it'll be out. But Peter has gone to great lengths to share this message, and he's educated me a lot about the fact that the greenhouse gas emissions from cows are not the same as new emissions from fracking or technology or other types of carbon. So I would encourage people, if they worry about greenhouse gas emissions from cows, to seek the facts and don't watch the vegan propaganda, because they're very low.
Yes.
They're very low. They're minuscule compared to the new carbon that is being created by technology, by burning fossil fuels, et cetera. We all contribute to this. I'm guilty as well. I drive a car. I wish I had an electric car. I don't yet, but even, fossil fuels are everywhere. But the fact that people vilify ruminant animals, which are actually, if they are grass-fed and properly raised, contributing to an increased amount of carbon carrying capacity of the soil and decreasing overall greenhouse gases, the fact that people vilify those animals is just an injustice. That's one of the ways we could really, really change the amount of greenhouse gases in the world. More ruminant animals.
It's anti-nature, it's anti-human, and it's anti-animal. Those animals exist in our ecosystem for a reason, and they exist on my farm for a reason. And part of it is soil integrity. The pigs prepare the soil, the sheep shit on the soil, which inoculates it with the bacteria that it needs, and then amazing stuff happens. And if you don't have that cycle, it doesn't work. And this is also one of the reasons too. Some of the proceeds from Superhuman, my anti-aging book, are funding a carbon capture X Prize. So I donated them because we've got to solve the problem. And the single biggest thing we have to do is fix our soil. And you got to have grass-fed animals to do that. And that will capture carbon. And also we're going to run out of soil to grow those dumb vegan burger things. We're going to run out in about 60 years if we don't do this. So it seems important to me. But yeah, we could do a whole episode on this.
There is no box. You create that box in your mind, or someone else creates it for you.